Hi friends, and welcome to another in the series of training videos for serving in the special needs ministry at Woodside Bible Church. My name is Greg McDougall. I'm the Director of Special Needs Ministries here at Woodside. I so appreciate your willingness to serve in this much needed ministry that ministers to not only the individuals but the families and care providers as well. Today we're going to just discuss conflict prevention and response. And I'm here to tell you I don't want to bust any myths, but if you're going to serve in the special needs ministry, there's a pretty good percentage that sometime along the way you're going to have some kind of conflict, either between participants in your ministry, ministry to or participant to volunteer, or really maybe even with a participant doing self-harm. So what is our response to that, and how do we best deal with that situation? If you're coming across a situation in your ministry where there's some kind of conflict, let's just say, for example, even if it's between two participants and one is pushing or one's hitting, some of the things we want to do is we want to deflect that activity without being physical ourselves. And what I mean is, you're not going to push back. Please don't do that. If we have to gently remove somebody from a situation, from harming somebody else or themselves, that's best done in a gentle way, maybe even trying to divert that activity, like tapping them on the shoulder and saying, hey, what's going on? How can I help you? Those are some ideas and some things we can do. If there's a real violent situation that needs attention, you're going to want to work with the other volunteers in tandem in your ministry to make sure that the other participants in the class are safe. And if somebody or some buddies need to be removed from the room or this area because it's escalated to that point, please do so. But we never want to push back. We never want to hit. We never want to verbally abuse anybody. Our response will show the love of Christ, or it won't, to our participants. So it's very, very important that our response is first made out of love and made within what we want to be as Christians and how we want to witness to others. We don't want to react because somebody else is reacting. We don't know the reasons why maybe there's a conflict or a violent act by somebody. Could be a whole myriad of options. But I would, one of the things, even to maybe prevent, if for example, this week you had a participant that didn't like to be touched, and when somebody touched him, he turned around and hit them. Well, now you know this next week, so use that experience and say, okay, maybe that person will sit a couple of chairs away from anybody else, or from that person who likes to touch them. So we want to learn from the experiences we have. And sometimes, especially up front, when we get a new family come in, there's just a lot of things going on with that participant. It's a new experience, it's new people, it's a new building, and that's just a lot of sensory overload. So there could be a lot of reasons. It's very important, again, we talked about communicating. And up front, when you get a new participant, we're hoping that one of your leaders, if not you, are communicating with that parent, and there's an intake form that might indicate some things that could come up that you want to be aware of. So again, communicating with that is very important to your ministry and to you serving in that ministry. So what happens after that? What happens if there's a conflict with somebody either being violent to themselves, violent to a participant, or maybe even a volunteer? We want to have a meeting. It's important to meet after that, the volunteers who were involved, just so everybody's on the same page to understand what happened and maybe what can happen next time that comes up, because you want to be prepared. That's the best part about that. Then we want to report. All of your campuses and all of your ministries should have an incident report. It's just as simple as saying what happened, who it happened with, and what did the volunteers do in response. And the people who should get a copy of that, it should go to the parent or care provider, so the parents are made aware of what's going on in that class. And again, they can maybe offer suggestions on how to help. And then also we want to keep a copy of that incident report on file that what your leader should have, and just to have a history of in case something like that comes up again. All of these conflicts will serve us best in learning from them and growing from them. Conflicts are not bad. Our responses can be bad, and not learning from them can be bad. So again, to wrap this up, we just want to love as Christ would love in our response to anybody who in any situation that might have conflict. Thanks again, friends, for tuning in. I appreciate you all. God bless you.